Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today we are doing the update to eyes. This was created by the amazing Deb B. Please go check her out. And also definitely Jen from Project Beauty and Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty are doing this. And again, maybe Shelley from Unapologetically Shelley. I always forget, why don't I write these things down? Anyhow, onwards. So what I've been doing is kind of picking 4 palettes a month, and I discuss them in the following video. If you want to see swatches of the 4 I'm about to show you, they were in last month's video, and I will swatch the ones that I'm choosing for this month in this month's video. I think that makes sense. Let's flip the sleeves. So first up, I brought in the Natasha Denona. Words are hard. Get on your glasses, Ruth, so you can see what you're doing. Natasha Denona Mini Glam Palette. Look, I only used it once because that's all I needed to use to get... don't blow on your palettes, Ruth, they'll go cracked. I only needed to use it once to, you know, see how I felt about it and that. I said I enjoy it. It's basic AF, nearly has a greenish hue to it, which I don't think you notice maybe so much in the palette, but when you go and put it on your eyes, I do feel like you see a hint of green, or maybe olive. Maybe that's what it is, olive that's in it. But I enjoy it immensely. It's such an easy one and done. Yeah, I'm missing a very light shade, but I just used my face powder and happy days. But yeah, we'll be keeping it. Enjoy it. Next up is the Sydney Grace palette, the Coffee Talk palette, should I say. This is it here. Now, what did I say? I said, yeah, crema, too icy in comparison to the rest of the palette. So that's this shade here. I just feel it's, for me, it's too icy. Do you know what I mean? It's very sharp or something. Is that the right word? I don't know. It's a bit jarring, maybe that's the word I'm after, on my eyes. I don't like that kind of shade in my inner corner. Not a fan. Frappe transition shade. So that's this shade here. Yes, my palette looks different. I changed 2 shades out. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But a Frappe is a transition shade. I said a tad dark but easy to blend out. So that's this one here. So maybe it looks a bit like a lighter transition shade, but it does, when it hits the eyeball, it's kind of dark. Cold Brew, I said deepened out the corner, easy to use. Ristretto, beautiful all over lid shade. So that's this guy here. Yeah, really, really pretty. Really pretty. I said I wasn't swatching these, but there you go. That. Palette's worth it for that shade alone. Gorgeous. And I said Latte is very pretty on the outer corner as well. So that's this one here. Again, lovely. Those 2 shimmers, gorgeous. Don't look chunky on the lid. You know, nice on the more mature eyelid that I have. The reason I took out Java and Copper Joe, I think one was because it was kind of the same. Do you know what I mean? There was no difference between it and others. And the other was too dark. So, and I wanted a pop of colour. This was fun, just used it on as an eyeliner kind of. And this is just a lovely white, just a matte white, just for sitting down the eyeshadow and stuff like that. So I just thought, why not pop something else in there? And that's what I did. But yeah, I ended up enjoying it more than I thought. God. Oh, look at lads, he's on his back, he's paws in the air. He has the toughest ever. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I think it's something I would consider doing again, is, you know, bring it in and putting a different pop of colour here. We'll see. But yeah, I'll be keeping it as it is for now. What is next? Cosmic Brushes Muse palette. I think we're about to get a tad controversial. I like it. I don't love it. Let me tell you for why. First of all, look, so this was released, everybody loved it, it sold out. Something happened with her delivery and a box went missing, And then it was miraculously found, and she put on Instagram, boxes found, this has been sold, get it while you can. So Ruth said, okay, I'll run and get it now. You know, I don't like higgledy-piggledy palettes. I don't like when they're all over the place. I have all those greens, I have those mustards, and I have a lot of those purples. Probably shouldn't have purchased it. Having said that, if you are in Europe, it is quite an affordable brand for an indie brand, I have to say. The shimmers are quite beautiful, but the mattes for me, I found them to be quite patchy and hard to work with. I'm guessing they're probably pressed pigments, and that is down to my skill level, really. Pressed pigment. Well, if I'd read the back, I would have seen pressed pigments. There we go, that's why. So if you are someone who is incredibly adept in using pressed pigments, you'll enjoy this immensely, because yeah, look at now I know. Why didn't you read it before, Ruth? God, you're an idiot. But the shimmers are quite lovely, I have to say. You've got some ultra metallics, you've got some toppers, you've got, you know, a lot of, I wasn't going to swatch these, but look, there we go. Greens, beautiful, some duo, some shifty, you know, you've got it all really. But yeah, I should have done a bit more investigation into it and realised that it was a pressed pigment palette, ergo, not for Ruth. Not for Ruth. She doesn't have that skill level. And I know there's ways and means of getting around it and doing it. And if you're looking for a good video, a great video, Carol and Nicole did a superb video on this particular palette as it happens, but just about shadow placement, brushes she uses, how to get the best. It's just a lovely video. I really enjoyed it. I've actually saved it because I want to do another look at this palette, doing it with her video. But it was a wonderful video, and you know, she'll talk you through exactly how to use this palette. So I said used purples, and they were very pretty and fairly easy to use. Use the greens. Filigree, which is this guy here, I said was very patchy, but the shimmers again were very beautiful with the green look. Dark and light green shimmers are very pretty. I did another look with that. Antique is a pretty topper, so that is this guy here. So it looks like it has more pigment to it. It looks pinky, greeny, shifty kind of shade, but it is very much a topper shade. It's not got a lot of base pigment to it, but it is very pretty. So yeah, I feel like this is going into my chopping block, and my chopping block is at the end of me going through all my palettes this year. Hopefully by the end of the year, you know, September, October, November, December, somewhere around then, I'll be able to pull these chopping block products back in and fully form my thoughts on them and decide, are they staying, are they going, what is happening? Because there's no point keeping it if I'm not going to use it. Simple as that. And then the last palette I had in was the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. Here it is here. Now, this is another palette that is quite beautiful, and the shades are quite beautiful, but, and there is a but, these are kind of like a Super Shock or, you know, a cream to powder formula. And I have quite small, hooded, aging eyes. Fine with that. That's just life. It's a privileged age, and I'm fine with that. But that means that this kind of product isn't ideal for me because it transfers everywhere. I said I used Paradise, which I think is the yellow here, a couple of times. And I said it's a lovely as a spotlight shade. So I really enjoyed that kind of on the center of the lid in, you know, a look with these browns or whatever, you know, it really does give that lovely pop of a highlight, you know, in the center of the lid. Especially with the greens, the golds and the yellows. I did like a look with these three here. And maybe, you know, that's the thing, I can use this in conjunction with powder, but I can use one shade. I can't use them all. I said pretty, but transfers so much. Because the green seems to have a dark base as well. That was another thing I noticed, and I'm sure the purple is the same, but I didn't bother using it because I was using purple from another palette. The green has a kind of a dark base to it, a kind of a blackened base to it. So when it transfers, it's actually the darkness that transfers up. So you look like a bit of black kind of up over your lid, as opposed to green. I don't know if I'd mind with the green. See, even there now as I'm taking it off, you can see it's more black kind of than green. So that's something else to bear in mind. I also said use the rosy tone and light gold together as well. So this shade here and this shade here. And again, it was a pretty look. I tried to keep them as much as possible on the lid, and then went over my crease again with a powder to kind of try and stop the transfer a bit. Kind of work, kind of did, you know. I was just trying to make the most of it. So this is another one that is going to go on the chopping block, unfortunately. I was thinking about putting it into pan, those eyeshadows, but I worry then that if I really heat it, I know I could veto it out, but I kind of don't want to be doing that. Do you know, I want to be hitting pan. I don't want to be wasting time on stuff that I'm not enjoying. I don't know. I'll put it into the chopping block for now, and I'll decide then if I'm going to put it into pan, those eyeshadows. We'll see. Decision for another day, Ruth. So, what is coming in? Oh no, I'm just thinking now, it's the other way around. I do swatch the ones that, God, what I do. I do swatch the ones that are coming out. And it's the ones that are coming in I don't swatch. Oh, Ruth, you complete and utter muppet. Let's just give you a little Natasha Denona swatchy swatch just to look at. I only ever swatch the shimmers because I don't know about you, but that's my favourite. I love the shimmers. I love the shiny, shiny shimmers. Oh, yum. The Natasha Denona ones there. Beautiful. Quite similar actually to the Coffee Talk palette. So they, yeah, they'll be using conjunction from each other quite nicely. So, what is coming in? February, the month of love. No, Ruth. I am bringing in the Natasha Denona Mini Love palette. Yes, I am that girl. I am that predictable. This is, have I used it? I don't think I have. Maybe once. Outrageous. Very pretty though. Nice purpley mauvey tones, which I think will be a very pretty look. Looking forward to playing with that. Also bringing in the Cash Beauty Copper Crush palette, which is a favourite of mine. And I'm bringing this in because I want something quite neutral and basic, so I'm not sick of all the, you know, romantic tones and stuff, and something that's quite easy to just throw on and out the door. Also bringing in the Alter Ego Coastal palette. If you saw my video about palettes that I have not used, I said that I want to have at least one of these in each Eyes collection every month. So this is what it looks like. It is a dupe, I believe, for the Rose Quartz from Huda Beauty, and I would have bought the Huda Beauty Quartz one if it had been reduced like the Mercury Retrograde one was. I think I paid 40 or 45 for Mercury Retrograde. Quartz never went to that price, so I wasn't paying the astronomical price you were looking for it. So when I made the Alter Ego order, I thought, yeah, let's get that. I like light shades. I like these kind of tones. Be nice for this time of year. And finally, again, you know, predictable AF, the Natasha Denona Pink Love palette, or midi, or whatever you want to call it. This does not look like everyone else's because I have moved shades around. This shade is missing at the moment. It is a dark green because it is in my Pandas eyeshadows and I've taken it out so it's easier to use. But again, pinks, purples, lovely shimmers and stuff like that. Some greens in case I want to do something a little bit different. They're actually from Zendo. Doesn't matter. But yeah, this is coming in and this is going to be used this month. As you know, I don't have set usage goals on these. I just want to make sure they all get used. I don't have to do it no pan left behind for the bigger palettes. I just want to dip into what I organically am feeling and wanting to use. Because I want to see what am I gravitating towards. Like if there's shades that I'm just not using at all, why am I keeping them? Especially in a palette like this that I can remove them. Let them go. Let go. No. And this I think is just going to be lovely. Yeah. Looking forward to that. So that is it for this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed. Please go and check out Deb's video and hopefully I'll chat to you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Slán.